I don't know if I can say surprise again. I said it 3 times already. Okay, here we go.
You got this, bro.
Surprise! Welcome to the Movie Reference, a new weekly series. Yes, I said weekly. I'm your host, Mark Denny. This is meant to be a companion podcast with the Who and What Movie podcast to allow me to talk about all sorts of things and to have guests or not have guests. However, I do prefer having guests, and that's why I brought back the one, the only, the controversial, the hashtag queen, Brittany Denny.
Hello. It's me.
That's what you went with? Okay.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, this is like our third attempt at recording this. So I
Why'd you
mean,
have to let the people know?
I'm just being real, okay? I got interrupted twice, and then Bernie decided to cuss, and you know, we're trying to keep it kind of clean, just kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because I still got the teacher residue, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a teacher anymore, but it's still got that residue a little bit. So once I get enough distance, I'll just start throwing F-bombs at the beginning of the episodes, you know. This title is It's Your Mom, which is a recent reference, and I hope you got it, hence the name of the show. And then, of course, it's in conjunction with what we're actually going to end up talking about later on in the show. And then it all connects together. It's all a beautiful blue round world that you are going to experience. So, Britt, what's going on? How you been? Thank you for coming on again.
I'm good. I activated my license, so now I can work, make that
Woo!
money. What? Pew, pew, pew,
Congratulations.
pew.
If I could actually
Thank
do sound
you.
effects, I would.
That would be so awesome. Maybe you could put it at the end, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm also trying to think of intros, you know, hip
Oh.
hop. I don't know. I don't even want to do that. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you. You know, I'm a notorious non-poster when it comes to my Instagram, personal and even the Who and What Movie podcast. I rarely post, but I
Yeah.
had to celebrate your graduation, and I was so happy to actually be there and cheer you on. And now it's time for you to get out there in the workforce and do your thing and help these people with these terrible teeth, huh?
I'm terrified. Well, like, I know what I'm doing, but like at school, you get 3 hours to do
Yeah,
this, and the professor is checking everything you do. And then now you have maybe 40 minutes, maybe 30 minutes to do that same thing.
yeah, yeah.
And it's just weird. I'm just used to it's okay. I got this. I just got to get
Deep breath.
used to it, get my speed up.
You got this. You got this. I was a victim. I mean, a patient for you a couple months ago,
Pardon.
and you know your
Pardon.
stuff. You know it.
Mm.
You do. You were
Way
in
to
my
go.
mouth, and it was like I remember telling, I guess your teacher, like this is as close as we've ever been. Like while your hands were in my mouth and you were sweating in your gloves, like,
I know. We don't even hug, and then I got my hands in your mouth.
like I'm practically using my that thing in the back as a punching bag, as a speed bag. But you know your stuff. You did great. You did great. You're gonna do amazing. And of course, once you get your feet wet and you keep on going, it's gonna be like second nature to you. You know.
Keeping on. You know what I'm saying, dog?
Keeping on, keeping on. That's exactly what I'm saying. So,
Oh, how are things for you, by the way, BT
oh,
Dubs?
well, thank you for asking. I just finished a course. I had to take summer class because my goal is to get my master's degree completed by next May.
Heck
And so
yeah.
I just finished a celebrity course, and and it's very interesting talking about celebrities because I don't follow a whole bunch. I do have like a select few that I like really love and respect them and admire them. And I happen to end up talking about, you know, the GOAT, Christian Bale. throughout the course of the semester, because we had to choose one that we would want to do a profile on, and then one that we would like to do like for our final. And Christian Bale, he's intense.
Yeah.
He's a notorious not liking the interview person, if I could say it that way. Every once in a while, he's like having a good time and he's jovial, and then there's other times where he's like short answered, and he's like, he gets asked the same questions 100 times, and I don't think he said that he doesn't like doing the press stuff, and I get it. And he's also somebody that doesn't have any social media, so that
Mm.
it was kind of interesting to kind of see. All I really had to go off of is how the media portrays him, and of course they talk about his body transformations. Of course they still bring up the Terminator rant, and of course they keep bringing that one up. It's recent now because of Tom Cruise's rants, so they're making that connection between the two of them. But I think
But
they also bring it
His
up
rant
to,
was more permissible because of the
yeah,
COVID thing.
yeah. It's weird. I remember when that Christian Bale audio leaked. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember being like, whoa, because we just became like fans of him right around the time of The Dark Knight. Hey, shout out episode
Hey.
1. Woohoo! Go back and
Wow,
listen to the Who and
full
What Movie
circle,
podcast.
bro.
Full circle, it's it. It's over. But yeah, we just became fans of him, and then that audio leaked, and it was shocking at first, but then it became comedy, like comedy gold. Like, remember that Family Guy clip?
Oh yeah.
I want to. I've been meaning to look that up and watch it again. So it's not fresh in my brain, but I remember when Family Guy made fun of it. It was classic. And upon this whole celebrity profile thing, I had discovered a couple things, or I guess reaffirmed a couple things, that Christian Bale lives in L.A., right? And
Oh.
Lisette and I made a recent trip to L.A., and the big joke of the whole trip was me telling Lisette, "There's no celebrities that live here. Yeah, no way. I haven't seen one. The movies lie to you. You're expected to get off the plane and all you see is celebrities on every corner. No, no, not true. They don't exist. I'm convinced that LA has an island that's in the middle of the ocean at this point. That's what I'm thinking. What do you think? You think I'm right, or?
Well, I heard there's a major exodus to Texas.
Hmm.
So maybe that's where all the celebrities are. When I was there, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't see, well, this was pre-pandemic, like years before the pandemic. And I only saw celebrities because I was there for a concert, so they're all at the concert, obviously. But you're right. Maybe it's just vloggers. I don't consider them celebrities, but I didn't
Mm-hmm.
see them either. So what the heck's going on with that?
Well, yeah, that was the interesting thing. And then Lisette had asked me. She said, if there was any celebrity you would like to see, and I was like, honestly, I would love to see Christian Bale. And you and I both know that he's a private person. So, and for some reason, when it comes to celebrities, I like the people who tend to be kind of like leave me alone. And so, between him and Eminem, like they want to be left alone in public. And so I was like, well, Christian Bale's the one I would love to meet, but I would be terrified. Like, imagine me, like I'll be sweating and be like, "Hi, Mr. Bale. I just want to say I'm a huge fan of your work." Like just the thought of it. Oh, and he'd be like, "Get out of here," And it's a terrible accent, but he would tell me to get out of there. He's like, "I don't want to shake your hand." I don't know. I just feel like I'd be like really, really nervous. I think he's one of the few that intimidates me, and
Yeah.
but I respect him. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't even attempt to approach him, even though I love him. Any celebrity, I think I would not have the cajones to do anything.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. Yeah, I guess you're right. It's just,
Like,
I don't know.
Olin Rogers.
Yeah.
I saw him and I paid for the event, like
Oh
it was like a bar.
yeah.
Oh, what the heck? Hello.
I
Sorry
don't
about
know
that.
what that was.
I don't know. The Apple Watch randomly wanted to search things. So I saw his thing, and then there's like a meetup afterwards,
Hmm.
and even then I felt like I was harassing him. Even though he was voluntarily doing it, I was like, can we have your picture, please? He's like, you're already in line. And like he was so nice though. I was like, wow, this is a new life.
Yeah, I love Olin Rogers. You're the one who introduced me to that guy via YouTube, of course. You know, we're not best friends with him or anything.
No, he's
Uh,
awesome. And then on I think it's on HBO Max, they have his show.
oh, the Final Space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a couple. I think I saw the first season. And it was actually pretty solid.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Yeah, I haven't kept up though. I apologize, but I haven't kept up. But anyways, what I was about Christian Bale, real quick. I found out that reaffirmed that he lived in LA and all that stuff, and he actually at first didn't like it. It was really interesting to hear him talk about how in England he would just walk to people's houses and just say, "What's up, mate?" And you're like, "Go make a cup of tea or whatever." And in LA, you do that, and it's like a complete, it's like a way different reaction. Like people are like, "Why are you here?"
Yeah.
And so what was interesting was like after I told Lisette who I would like to see, like a couple hours later, like completely coincidental, her cousin who lives out there said that they went to this restaurant. It was actually a restaurant they took us to for breakfast. And she said, "You know who we saw at that restaurant? Batman, Christian Bale."
Mm,
And I was like, "What?
what?
What?" And she's like, "Yeah, it looked like he's been there before because they had a table already for him in the back, and he was there with his computer, and no one was really talking to him as far as like the waiters, like they already knew what he wanted." And
Wow.
and even them, they were like, we were too scared to even approach him, but we were like, "It's Batman!" Like, and that's so cool. Like, I completely coincidental. Like, really, like that's who you saw. And then I saw some pictures doing research for the project I was doing, and it showed him running errands in LA, and I was like, "What? How did
This
I
is
miss him?
nuts.
Like, we could have been best friends by now." Like, I don't know. I don't understand.
You know, that fascinates me. I would want to know what he eats.
Oh yeah.
Like, what's his favorite thing to order? I'll order it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that'd be kind of cool, huh? Like, I just know, they always talk about his body transformations and all that, and he's famous for losing all that weight just by having an apple and apple, can of tuna, and a cup of coffee. That's what he had when you drop down to those LBs for the machinists.
Machinist.
That's the
Yeah.
only food we know he likes, or not likes, but that he had to eat for that role. So,
And then I know for the my God, the old Mark Wahlberg, the fighter,
yeah.
him just running a lot. He inspired me to run, even though I hate running.
Running's the worst. Working out is the worst. I've been trying to do hit workouts because I'm trying to get skinny, right? It's
Did
so
you
weird.
do Growing Bananas? She's my favorite.
Who's that? Growing bananas?
Growing Bananas. She's the one I played for you and Lizette. She does the hit workouts, but she does the low impact
Oh,
ones.
yeah, yeah. And well, the thing is like I was thinking about this the other day. I said, man, I don't even want to bulk up. I don't even want to look like a superhero. My goal has always been, even since I was in school, like high school and middle school, was just to be skinny. Just to be skinny, like that. It's so weird how some people have that mindset of like just wanting the opposite. That's brunette girls want to be blonde, or the vice versa. And I'm here, this like kind of like a big bone guy that ideally his body, the best thing for his body would be to look like a superhero with a six pack and all that stuff. And I just want to be skinny. I just want to be thin, But I love food.
Wait, let me tell you something, bro.
I love food. Go ahead.
You ain't built for that lifestyle. You're built to have muscles. We're muscle people. And you know, if you build muscle, you can eat more because muscle burns fat.
Curse these broad shoulders.
That's what I'm saying,
That's what I'm
dog. Best
saying.
thing.
But I just, it's funny is like, sometimes that happens, you just kind of want the opposite, especially when it comes to your body. I'm thankful for my beautiful eyes. my nice legs and my beard. It's a beautiful beard.
Get away.
Self-love, baby. Self-love.
Self love. This is gonna be a love yourself podcast. No.
It's all about positivity, okay? Body
Body
positive,
positivity.
personality positive. So, what? Speaking of celebrities, now that we know that there's none of them exist in LA, that it's in the magical island somewhere, and no one's ever gonna find them. What kind of celebrity, if you were one, would you want to be? Like, there's all kinds of different facets. So let's just break it down to a Hollywood celebrity or a micro celebrity, like YouTube person or TikTok.
That is a great cue. I would want to be a movie star as opposed to a YouTuber because I feel like those YouTubers have to share a lot of the information about their lives,
Mm-hmm.
whereas celebrities, that like a lot of them can hide. Like Emma Stone. I never
Mm-hmm.
see pictures of her.
No, no, yeah, you're right.
Matt Damon only when he's out with J Lo, Ben Affleck. Did you see that?
Wow, I see Damon a lot, but I mean, you're right though. A lot of the celebrities, especially the ones that you and I like, we tend to
Yeah,
only see when they're in interview mode or someone caught
doing
a picture of them on
interviews.
set.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
What
yeah,
about
and
you, bro?
huh?
What about you?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm the same as you. Like, I already tried. Well, not try to be a celebrity. That's a poor choice of words. But I tried my hand at YouTube. Right? Remember, I was doing Mark in the Movies, that sad little show.
Oh
And
my gosh.
the thing that bothered me the most about being on YouTube was it's all content based, and it's a lot of pressure to deliver um, on YouTube. Man, it's very intimidating, and I don't know how people do it. So I don't think I would like being a micro celebrity because of what you said. You have to share. It's like an overload of sharing that I already mentioned earlier that I'm very bad at posting stuff unless I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
So I just don't think I could do it. I just don't think I could be like, hey, look at this bottle of water that I'm drinking out here in San Tropez. Or, you know what I mean? Like my post, like I posted something for your graduation because I was super thrilled, but no one knew anything about my California trip because I didn't post any pictures about it. You know what I mean? So I'm very private and I like to keep it that way. I mean, there's times right now that I'm like, I can't wait to delete my Instagram, especially for some reason the podcast to me is like, oh, just get rid of it. There's no point right now because I'm still building it, and I can't wait until the show's big enough to where I have to hire somebody to handle all the social media. Like I don't want to be responsible for that anymore. I really don't like that aspect. So I think I would love to be, I guess, a Hollywood celebrity and at least be like you said. I want to be one of those that has a house that's not in LA, that I'm kind of hidden from the world and I don't share anything, and you only see me when I'm like promoting a movie or something, and just keep it like that. Like that's how I would be for sure.
Yeah.
Even if I was cast as a superhero, you'd be like, I don't see him at all until he's doing interviews or whatever, like, or if I don't know. I look at Christopher Nolan. I want to be a director. Listen, I want to at least direct one movie in my life, okay?
Yeah.
Um, just one, just to try it out. That sounds so bad. Just to see if I can make it. It'd be really cool to direct a movie and just I don't know. I'm so nervous of the entertainment industry anyway. Like, does it ever make you nervous? Like thinking about it, like or maybe I'm just overthinking it. It's really a magical place, or what?
I love the aspect of all that stuff, but then now, like 20, 30 years later, you hear all this bad stuff about these people that you like. And
Yeah.
then, being a girl, kind of not a good idea to do this stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
But It was always a cool dream to want to be an actor, but the parents said be realistic because we don't
Mm.
do anything about it. Like, we want to be an actor, but I feel like I'm just at the mall pretending to be an actress. Like, oh, someone's gonna notice me looking at this dress. They're gonna be like, she needs to be in a movie.
I mean, let's face it, our life is a movie. So,
That's what I'm saying.
no, I feel you on that one. I did the same thing. Like, when I was in LA, I like, I walked straight already, but I was walking straighter. You know what I mean? Like, I was, my sunglasses on, like, look at me.
Look
Yeah.
at me.
No one cared. No one cared.
What are you talking about?
Except for Lisette. Lisette was like, wow. Ooh. But
Yowza.
that's all I need, That's the only fan I need, I need, and I got her, I got you, I got the family and all that, and so, but yeah, being a celebrity would be, it's just too much pressure. People make mistakes, but now you're making mistakes on a worldwide scale, and a lot more eyes on you, and that's scary. And that's the same. I mean, the same goes for micro celebrity, because some people stretch, further than just their general audience. It's like, I'm not a gamer, but how do I know about Ninja or Dr. Disrespect? I'm not into Twitch and all that stuff, but how do I know those people? You know what I mean? And it's just, some people just have that reach and that personality. I have the personality where I love being creative, but it comes in spurts, and I need like long breaks in between. And I don't need the pressure. That's why the YouTube channel failed, because it was like, I would do 2 episodes and I'd be like, oh, that's okay. And I'll get to the third episode and I would like go really like hardcore on myself, like self-sabotage, like, oh, you're so terrible at your job. You're awful. You think people are gonna watch this show? And then I would take like a whole month off before I
Damn.
before I would get the inspiration again. I just had that self sabotage, I guess, and I'm like trying to manage it with the Who and What Movie podcast and all that. But I guess we all have that, like those darker, I guess, your own self critic, and I'm very critical of myself. Let me tell you, episode 5 that I did with Alyssa Tennant.
Yeah.
I even texted Alyssa this. I was like, I sound obnoxious. Like, and I think what it was is, the last 3 things I've done, this one and the last 2 episodes, have been done over the phone. And I like doing it in front of the person, because then you can see their reactions and stuff, but we just couldn't. We had to do it over the phone. So throughout episode 5, what bothers me is I have like these nervous chuckles, and then there's like a little bit of a pause, and then it continues. And I don't know if anybody else notices it, but I notice it. And I was like, oh, why did I do that? Oh, you're so embarrassed of yourself right now, bro.
Don't embarrass me.
And it happens. I think everybody has that. They have that. You're your own worst critic, right?
Yeah, that's true. But that's
But
why you shouldn't listen back to these things. I know you have to edit it, but I don't know,
oh, just
double
put it out
speak
there.
it. Yeah. Put it out. Just put it out. That's what I do for everything. That's why I don't notice spelling errors. That's why I don't notice anything. Cause I'm like, you know what? I don't want to hear this again. Cause there were so many like projects I had to record myself on Zoom,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm not even gonna bother editing this. I'm just putting it out there. And it was so
Nah,
annoying.
dude, I am so critical when it comes to that. Even when I post a story on my Instagram, if I misspell something, it bothers me. You know what I mean? Like, I think I
Yeah.
posted something like a meal that Lisette and I shared, and it was supposed to say one, and it said on, and that I didn't change it, but normally I would have, because that bothers me. Like, why would I misspell that?
You
What are you
idiot.
thinking, you idiot?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like people are gonna think that I'm stupid.
I'm such a moron. No, but self love, self love.
Self love.
Oh
Poor
man. So
Anthony.
okay. Celebrities, man, they're crazy. So I got to talk about a recent release real quick. The Suicide Squad. You have you gotten to see this whole movie? And this have you seen this movie?
Okay, let me explain.
Okay, I'm listening.
It was my graduation, right?
Yeah.
I got home, it was maybe 8 o'clock or 9 or 10. 10! That sounds right. And then I, had a drink, and then I was playing Nintendo, and I was like, we need to watch Suicide Squad. Mark Anthony gave it such high remarks.
Mm-hmm.
So we watched it, and I think it was late, I passed out like at least 10 times, but I saw parts of the film. I know what it's about.
Uh-huh.
And it was way better than the first one because the first one I did not like at all, and I didn't
Mm-hmm.
fall asleep through that one. But yeah, the first one I don't know why I didn't like it. It was just like it just felt pointless.
Well, well, I'll say my little piece about the first one real quick. Like, my initially when I first saw it, I was on the hype train. Like, I had I had the Suicide Squad shirt on, I had the bucket, I had these cool tickets, like, um, and so when I left, I was like, man, that was really good. There was a lot that I liked about it. And then
Yeah,
as time went on, it just deteriorated. It got worse and worse and worse over time. And I've seen it more than once.
the first
And
one.
yeah, the first one, the one that David Ayer directed, and of course now the fans are like trying to push for the David Ayer cut, like they did with Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Mm.
And there's a lot of parts I do like still. I do enjoy. I know everyone's gonna disagree, but I do enjoy Jared Leto's interpretation of the Joker, and the dynamic between him and Harley. And I enjoyed Will Smith in the movie and all that. But man, so it's funny that you bring it up too, because I had watched it in anticipation for the Suicide Squad, the one that's directed by James Gunn.
Yeah.
And you know what I got distracted with? The whole movie was me paying attention to Joel Kinnaman's hair. I don't know if you know Joel. He's the guy who plays Rick
Mm.
Flag.
Yeah, I know him. He's the one he was in that other Netflix show. That was
Oh
like
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
sci-fi show.
Yeah, and so the whole time, if you watch that Suicide Squad movie, you could tell there was reshoots because his hair goes long, short, long, short. Every time they cut to him, every time there's a new scene, he's got a new hairdo, and you're just like, oh my! It was so distracting the last time I watched it that I didn't even get to enjoy some of the movie at least. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't go in with the ill intentions of like, I'm just gonna tear this movie apart, because I don't want to do that, because I know they're a pain, and I'm deeply afraid. That's why I only want to make one in my lifetime, and I'll be happy.
Yeah.
um but the Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn, is hilarious. It is so funny. I loved it. I laughed from beginning to end. I saw it in theaters, loved it, and now I've seen it like two other times on HBO Max, which I obviously am a big supporter of the movie theater. I love it. That's my bag. That's my jam. But I tell you what, I've always wanted movies to be like released as soon as I was done. I wish there was a way to be like, all right, you paid to go see the movie in theaters. Now you get to see it however many times you want to see it afterwards. You ever leave a movie and you go, man, I want to see that again, but I don't want to spend $20.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, so it's like with Suicide Squad, it was like really cool that it came out on HBO Max, and so I've gotten to see it at least two more times since, and it still holds up. James Gunn he's a visionary. He has such a big imagination, and you can tell through the Guardians of the Galaxy films. That's my first like exposure to him as a director was Guardians. And then
Yeah.
like I listened to an interview with him and Anna Faris once. Is it Anna Faris? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Um, and he just won me over, and now like I follow him on social media, and I just like that his interaction with fans, and he's like he tells you about the filming experience. Like I admire him as a director, and he has great musical taste. um every movie I've seen, great music taste. Like I can tell you one thing, I love, people are going to think this is sacrilegious, but I think volume 2 is better than volume 1 when it comes to Guardians of the Galaxy. But
Mm.
one of the moments that sticks out to me the most is his use of the song Brandy. You know, Brandy, You're a Fine Girl.
Oh yeah.
And because it's Ego's interpretation of the lyrics. So now every time I hear that song, I think of Kurt Russell telling Chris Pratt, aka Peter Quill, what that song means to him. And it's like, wow, you know, the fact that he just knows what songs to use to bring out the moment. And the reason why I bring up music right now, because the Suicide Squad obviously has a whole bunch of great music. But right now, I'm jamming out to the song Hey by the Pixies because he used that so well in this movie. And I don't want to spoil the movie for anyone, but the song Hey by the Pixies has been a constant play on my Spotify. I love that song. You ever heard that song?
Of course, I heard that song. It's so
Oh,
good.
so good. Oh my God. I've
It
heard it
was in
before.
Zach and Miri Make a Porno.
Well, see, I've heard it before, but James Gunn, I feel like that the songs he chooses, it makes you remember that movie, right? Like Hooked on
Yeah.
a Feeling, it's Guardians of the Galaxy. The chain, is it called The Chain? Yeah, The Chain by Fleetwood Mac. It is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So Hey, I associate with the Suicide Squad. Even though I've heard it in other films, it's like, no, it's from James Gunn's movie. Like it sounds so good. He just knows how to time it very well, and I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. And the most important thing I can say about this movie is its unpredictability. And that's something I really miss from movies. It's why I gravitate to Christopher Nolan, because his movies aren't predictable, you know? And so that's what I appreciate about this movie. So I hope you get to see it in its entirety, because I've been praising. You remember when I came to see you? I told everybody that would listen. Have you seen the
Yeah.
Suicide Squad?
Have you watched it
Oh, I wouldn't shut up about it.
yet? Oh
I would
man.
just, yeah, you gotta watch it, and it's got a great cast. I want to have a moment here to gush about Idris Elba, if you don't mind.
Yes, go ahead.
He's incredible. We know that. You and I
Yeah.
know how amazing this guy is. He just, for some reason, he's one of those actors that tends to he's finding work, but a lot of the movies don't get love, you know, and they're not rated very well as far as critics are concerned. But he
Hmm.
is always a gem in that movie, you know. And one that comes to mind is our personal favorite. I would call it a guilty pleasure. Is The Losers. Boom.
Oh yeah, The Losers is so good.
I still remember when you and I went to go see that in theaters, and I remember we watched it constantly when we finally got it on Blu-ray. It is an underrated film. It's like, I don't know, it's like warm cookies and milk to me. It's comfort, even though it has a low rating. I mean, this is before Chris Evans is Captain America, and it's with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who is awesome. Zoe Saldana's in it. Idris Elba. Like, it has a great cast, and unfortunately, it doesn't get the love that it deserves. You know, it's on Netflix
Yeah,
now
I
if you
don't
want to
know
check it out.
why.
Huh?
I really don't know why a lot of people haven't even seen it too.
Yeah, it's obscure. Like, we heard about it right away, and we're like, we're gonna go see it. And you know, you and I went to the movies quite a lot, and so we saw a lot of trailers, and I'm sure that's probably what kept us up to date. You know, I mean, you remember we saw Transformers what, 4 times?
Yeah, too much to count.
We kept going
It
back.
was so good.
Yeah, yeah. And so, oh, well, it wasn't just Transformers, it was Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. So some fans will be like, or some people listening to this show would be like, really? You went to go see that 4 times? It blew our minds. We had so much fun. Like, this is before, what's the word I'm looking for? Before controversy was like an issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you and I were kind of desensitized because we kind of grew up on rated R movies. Like, we didn't do anything bad. It just, you know, we weren't, I don't know what the word is. We were allowed to watch rated R movies. You know, we were listening to Eminem a lot. We were, you know, listening to a lot of hip hop at that time. So, like, Michael Bay doing these shots that is considered controversial now, they weren't back then. You know, yeah, that's a sexy shot, or that, yeah, that's a sexy car. Oh yeah, and, everything about Michael Bay's movies have to be sexy, right? Oh,
Yeah,
look
of
at that
course.
sexy explosion. Uh, so at that time, it wasn't like it is now. Like now, you look at something and you're just like, oh, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Like now, there's more questioning things as opposed to just back then. It was just like accepted. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I didn't think they had any controversy yet. And I
Yeah,
guess we didn't realize that things were over sexualized till now.
yeah, yeah,
Now you
exactly.
watch it, you're like, well, this is there's no reason for the scene.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And Michael Bay stayed in that mode. I mean, even his latest, what, Six Underground? It's the
Oh
exact.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
everything Michael Bay does.
and I love that he reuses car explosion scenes.
Yeah, from the
Like,
island, right? The
yeah.
island in the Dark of the Moon, and
And
yeah,
Bad Boys too.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Anyway, sorry, this was supposed to be about Idris, but Idris is deeply talented. The whole cast is great. Margot Robbie, of course, I think does her best performance as Harley Quinn. She's always done a really good job, though. I love. I don't know how to say his last name. Is it David Dismachian? Is that how you say his last name?
Oh
If you
god.
don't remember him, he's in The Dark Knight. Actually, whoa, full circle. He plays
Yeah.
this. He plays this schizophrenic that
The
uh,
Joker gets a hold of.
yes, yes. And then Harvey tries to question him, and then Batman says, you expect to leave a man's life to chance. You know. Anyways, that was a terrible impersonation. I'm sorry, Christian Bale. Um,
You tried your best, but Idris was great. I was glad that he finally picked a like he always picks crappy movies to be in that don't get enough attention. Like no offense, but like he did I think the best thing he's done is probably Luther, that show, but it's like a
oh,
British show, so not a lot of people saw it, but it's like really good.
yeah.
Him looking for serial killers and stuff.
It's interesting because he's like famous, but he's stayed under the radar at the same time. I kind of think of Ryan Reynolds in that respect. That Ryan Reynolds is extremely hilarious and he can do it all, but he tends to choose projects that aren't the best, but he's the best part in them. And I think that's the same thing with Idris usually, is that they're the best. They're the highlights of that film, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. Like he did so many movies where they were like we always knew they were good, but then people didn't like them until after they saw Deadpool, I think.
Yeah, and Reynolds is like our spirit animal. Like I tell Lisette all the time. I said Ryan Reynolds is my spirit animal. Like he gets us, like Brittany and I. He gets our humor. He gets our sarcasm. Like imagine that trio in on this podcast.
I It would be chaotic.
Yeah, it would be chaos. And then of course I do want to give a shout out to John Cena and Viola Davis, which I probably said her name wrong, but John Cena, he actually does a really good job in this movie. I was really impressed. The girl who plays Ratcatcher, I don't know her name, she was great. All the cast was great, and I highly recommend it. If you are a score fiend like my sister and I do encourage you to check out John Murphy's score because it is total rock and roll, baby. You know John Murphy, right?
Yeah, I know John Murphy.
Yeah, Sunshine.
Oh yeah, the trailer plays the whole song too.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunshine, and I think the other movie I remember him doing was Miami Vice. I think those are the two that I can think of off the top of my head. And his music is always kind of like it has a darkness to it. It has a build up. It's epic. That song Sunshine. I always mess up the adagio in D minor.
Oh yeah.
So good. So good. If you want the warm and fuzzies in your heart, I highly recommend that song.
It's really
Uh,
good.
but this score is rock and roll. And there's actually a scene that I'm not going to reveal like the context of it, but there's a scene it's married to the score itself, where Harley Quinn is putting on her boot, or she fixes her boot, and the team starts running. Right, that's all I'm going to say. The way it's matched, it's beautiful. The rest of that sequence is just magic, and Yeah, you gotta see it. You gotta listen to it. You gotta feel it. I've been listening to the music from the movie, listening to the score from the movie this whole week, and I haven't gotten tired of it yet. Also, I've been listening to Nas. That album is great too. I still got my hip hop roots, and happy belated to hip hop for turning 48 the past week, and happy anniversary to you, Britt, and
Ooh.
your lover, Nathan. Lover, wow.
Whoa,
Your
whoa.
boyfriend.
My boyfriend.
Wow.
What's going
Sorry,
on there,
sorry.
bro?
Huh?
What's going on over there?
What do you mean?
You're losing yourself over there?
What do you mean?
I'm just kidding.
What?
Oh, I wanted to do a joke this whole time.
Okay.
I can't do it still because you haven't given me a moment to do it. Because there's like you remember that thing on Family Guy when they're talking about the Godfather and he's like, since we're gonna die here, I thought I'd let you know I did not care for the Godfather. And then he goes, it insists upon itself. It insists upon itself. And then everyone's like, what are you talking about? I was gonna do that, but I forgot.
Well, if I would have talked a little bit more about Nas, he makes a reference to the Godfather. Uh,
Oh, full circle now.
yeah, he wants to die in the garden, like in Godfather, or something. In his garden, like in Godfather. Go ahead, make the joke.
Nah.
I thought you were gonna do the other one, the when Peter's at the movie theater, and as soon as they say
They
the
say the
title of the
title.
movie, he said it.
He said
He
it.
said it.
uh,
But yes, obviously, "It's Your Mom" is a reference to the Suicide Squad as well, and I'm not gonna give any context to it, but it is one of the most hilarious moments I've ever seen in cinematic history. I was crying in the theater from laughing so much, and yeah. So kudos to you if you already caught the reference at the beginning of the episode. But anything else going on? Anything else you want to chime in?
nah, we're just excited for your wedding.
Oh, thank
Bam,
you.
bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, yeah. You already RSVP.
Yeah, of course we did. We waste no time.
RSVP. Yeah, yeah. Good, good.
We just don't check the mail every day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the convenience of me working from home now, is that I can actually go check the mail every single day.
Like we're home all the time, but we check the mail like maybe every other week.
Yeah, before, yeah, we would let it build for like a month, and then we would go and have a whole stack of mail. It's just like most of it's junk. It's like at this point in time, everything should be paperless. Like we should just be getting emails, not having to go to the mailbox. So,
Right? Except those Bath and Body Works coupons.
oh, and of course our invitations.
Yes, of course, of
Yes,
course.
of course, of course. Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Bray. You are an awesome guest, and you're also obviously an amazing sister. That's why I chose you to be my best woman. And
Yes.
I do want to give you another round of applause for finishing, graduating
Yeah,
and
yeah.
getting a bunch of letters after your name. I used to be Mr. Denny, but those are gone now because I'm not a teacher. So
You could still be a mister,
yeah, but now it's not. Now it's not like, I don't know. I was trying to think of what an abbreviation for MR, and I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble, so I'm not gonna say it. But
Oh, yeah. Take it easy, bro. Take it easy.
yeah, 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 yeah. No, but yeah, but I'm grateful to do this podcast, and I'm thankful that you wanted to do it. I know I was when I went to go see you, I was like, we should do something every week. And I still have that. If you want to do it every week, that's cool with me. But if I don't want to put any pressure on you. um
I am down to clown, I'm gonna be temping for a while. I don't know if I'm gonna have like a full-time job yet. Cause I
okay.
don't wanna have to ask for time off for the wedding. That's so awkward.
It's not really awkward, but yes, it will
Well,
be like,
I literally it's only one day that I need off, and I already I always feel like I'm such a what's the word called? a nuisance to people. Like I'm like, oh yes, 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 yes. I'm always like yes to everything, and it's so annoying. I wish I could just tell people I cannot, I cannot do this. But
I
for you,
cannot commit.
bro, I'm down all the time. This is not me trying to please people. This is me trying to have fun with you, bro.
That's right. Thank you.
That's what's
Thank
up.
you so much. And I just want to say thank you to all the listeners. It's been really cool to see your guys' reactions. I hope you enjoy or dig this format, and hopefully you don't get tired of it being weekly. It's gonna come out on Mondays. I think Mondays, because Mondays are blah. You want a little pizzazz, and
Pizzazz, pizzazz, like the Bad Friends podcast.
yeah, which you just introduced me to, and I'm like, it's incredible. I love the Bad Friends podcast.
It's literally us.
Yeah, it is. I love it. I love their chemistry. Big shout out as well to like John Campia, because I love John Campia as well. So, anyways, that's enough praising other people. Go ahead and hit the like button or follow. I don't even know how this works. Just listen to the podcast, and hopefully you enjoy it. And hopefully you guys are excited for this series, like I said, and excited for the future of the Who and What Movie podcast. You can follow me on the Who and What Movie podcast on Instagram. You can follow on Spotify. You can subscribe on Apple Music, all that cool stuff. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll be seeing you. Thank you for being my guest, Brittany, and I'll talk to you guys later.